I don't know if y'all have looked through my phone yet and seen any of the pictures and the videos that I have taken.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
I don't want to watch it, please.
This woman is seen taunting her partner Jorge trapped inside a suitcase. She makes no attempts to save him. Instead, she lets him suffocate to death. But why would someone do that? Her eerie laughter is heard while her partner suffocates to death. But this is just the beginning. Today, we are going to explore cases where girlfriends become killers. Courtney Clenny. In April of 2022, Miami police received a desperate call.
I can't feel my arm. I can't feel my arm. Oh, my boyfriend is dying of a stab. Ma'am, what is the address? 130 Northeast 7th Ave. Baby, I'm so sorry.
Christian Toby Omicelli, bleeding out from a stab wound held by his girlfriend Courtney Clenny. Their relationship, once showcased as perfect online, was marred by violent disputes behind closed doors. With past incidents, incriminating videos, and medical evidence, the truth behind this tragic love story unfolds. Dive with us into the mystery of what really happened between Courtney and Toby. Courtney's initial defense was self-preservation. She painted a picture of a heated argument that escalated, leading her to act in self-defense. But as the interrogation progressed, the detectives employed a series of psychological techniques to unravel her story.
My apologies for being absolutely covered in blood.
Listen, you don't have to apologize, okay? I completely understand. All right? Things happen, but we can't control it.
Is he okay?
He's still at the hospital. They're still,
I know.
monitoring him and talking to him. So we're waiting.
Oh my God! So he didn't even have to have surgery.
Well, I don't know. They're still doing X-rays and stuff like that. So I don't know yet. I'm waiting to hear a response.
That's all I have to know. Thank God.
As the interrogation begins, detectives often employ a tactic of easing any immediate worries the suspect might have. This is evident when the detectives inform Courtney about Toby's condition. By telling her that Toby is still alive, they aim to make her feel more relaxed, hoping she might be more forthcoming with information. Detectives often start by building rapport with the suspect. This involves speaking in a non-accusatory manner, easing their worries and making them feel more relaxed.
Start from the start. You guys were supposed to take out your dogs to the park, right? And then what happens after that?
I mean, they kind of like turned into like a little like argument or something. I was doing laundry and tried to call my mom. She didn't answer the first time. And then he left. I guess he went to go bike over there. That's just what he said. I don't know if he walked or biked, but he told me he was going to bike first.
Like a bicycle?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he came back with a Subway sandwich, and I said something about like, oh, are you gonna like reshare your location with me, like did you and share it? And he said, yeah, I shared it. And I was like, oh, when did you do that? And he goes, the other day, like when you were done with me. And I was like, okay, well, fair enough, and, like reshare it. And then he told, I mean, they kind of like turned into like a little like argument or something. And then he told me to reshare mine, and I was like, okay, yeah, I will. And then I didn't do it immediately. He asked me about it again, and I don't know what I was thinking, but it just said something about, well, what if I'm somewhere you don't want me to be? Which I wouldn't have been. I love him, but maybe you don't want to know where I am. I guess maybe they'll just like hurt him because he was pressing me. And he ended up pinning me against the wall. I mean, I said like choking me on the floor. It's just like, they were looking at my neck and I was like, I mean, I'm not saying like choking me like, you know, whatever. But I mean, he had my like neck, like and this happened twice before, where I couldn't breathe and I was on the floor. Yeah. I could not breathe.
Courtney's emotional state is evident. She's vulnerable, scared, and looking for reassurance. Detectives recognize this and use a push-pull technique. They push by reminding her of the gravity of her actions, then pull by offering comfort. This emotional roller coaster can make a suspect more pliable and willing to share information. Detectives are well aware of Courtney and Toby's tumultuous history. By bringing up past incidents, they aim to establish a pattern of behavior. This serves two purposes. It can make Courtney feel cornered, but it also provides context. If she's acted violently before, it lends credence to the idea she might have done so again.
If he's choking me and he's angry enough, he might this is different, I think. But if he's choking me or pinning me or something and I can't breathe, he might go too long. So I grab my knife and I said, don't come anywhere closer to me. I had absolutely no intention of using it. I'm on the phone with my mom and he's coming at me like he's gonna grab either the phone or the knife or something. And so I was just I was like, don't come any closer. It's coming at me, and I threw it. And I meant for it to go.
How far away was he?
Well, I was by my fridge and he was by the edge of one of the chairs of the sofa.
Comparing to what
10 feet. I'm trying to think in my head.
Investigators listen keenly, not just to what is said, but how it's said. They look for inconsistencies in the narrative. For instance, Courtney's claim of self-defense involved her throwing a knife across the room, a feat that seemed improbable given the circumstances. The detectives picked up on this, pushing her for more details.
What?
My boyfriend.
All right. So what do you want to say?
I want a restraining order against Christian Evangelii.
We don't issue those.
Because, no, I'm serious. Can I do that? Where
can I go to court? You have to go to downtown.
How can I make myself first?
Detectives can use emotional manipulation to elicit a confession. By reminding Courtney of her past and future with Toby, they aim to stir up emotions, making her more vulnerable. The goal? To get her to slip up and reveal more than she intended. As the interrogation progressed, detectives presented Courtney with evidence that contradicted her claims. From body cam footage to witness statements, they aimed to corner her, making it harder for her to stick to her narrative.
We have to inform you that Christian did not make it. Okay. Unfortunately, the doctors did what they could. And
Christian is dead.
Yes.
Oh my God.
One of the most potent tools in an interrogator's arsenal is the big reveal. In Courtney's case, it was the news of Toby's death. This news, delivered after building rapport and emotional manipulation, was designed to elicit a genuine reaction, providing insight into her true involvement. As the interrogation unfolded, it became clear that Courtney's version of events was riddled with inconsistencies. The evidence, from her past behavior to the improbable nature of her self-defense claim, painted a grim picture. There are moments in the interrogation where detectives simply remain silent, letting Courtney's own thoughts and fears bubble to the surface. This technique is powerful. In silence, people often feel the need to speak, to fill the void. And in doing so, they might reveal more than they intend.
Did you come to a cause, or did you make a determination as to the cause and manner of death?
Yes.
Could you please explain those to the court?
The cause of death was stab wound of right subclavian artery. The manner of death was homicide.
The introduction of the medical examiner's testimony is a strategic move. By bringing in an objective, expert perspective that challenges Courtney's version of events, detectives aim to break down her defense. The expert's statement that a thrown knife would simply bounce off directly contradicts Courtney's claim of self-defense, cornering her further. Interrogations are as much a psychological game as they are about fact-finding. In Courtney's case, detectives employed a range of techniques, from emotional manipulation to confronting evidence to get to the truth. Both the interrogator and the suspect enter this dance with their own perceptions, fears, and goals. The outcome depends on who navigates this intricate maze more effectively. Zach, a man who trusted his wife Ashley implicitly, was confronted with a horrifying revelation. Taylor Wright, a friend of Ashley's, was found dead on their property. As the investigation unfolded, Zach faced the shocking possibility that his wife might be a murderer, turning his world upside down.
She just wasn't, I would just pick up little lies from her. So, and stuff just didn't start seeming right. And she would disappear for days. You couldn't get her on the phone. Greg and I would try to call her. You couldn't get her on the phone.
Zach's initial demeanor is one of disbelief. He recalls Taylor, the victim, as a friend who became close to his wife. Their bond seemed genuine, and the idea of a falling out or any animosity was foreign to him. However, as he delves deeper into his memories, he recalls subtle inconsistencies in Taylor's behavior, like her unexplained absences and the peculiar language in her texts.
Well, I mean, I'm sure now you've read the news and everything,
yeah.
So you know.
Flying everywhere, and I've read all kind of, yes.
So you kind of know the date that we're talking about. Have you had a chance to go back and pinpoint where you were on the 8th of September?
It's very, I can't remember, but I'm trying to do the very best I can so I can tell y'all the best I can. I know I ate at lunch at the seafood. I went to the bank yesterday to pull my statement. I know I ate lunch at the seafood place at 9 Mile in Pine Forest. I ate there. And I remember eating by myself, and I remember Ash not being able to make it because she was tied up with work.
The detectives, skilled in their craft, begin to weave a narrative, subtly hinting at the mounting evidence against Ashley. They question Zach about his whereabouts on the 8th of September, the last day Taylor was seen alive. Zach's recollection is clear, and his alibi seems solid, but the detectives are not just looking for his involvement. They're trying to gauge his reactions, looking for any signs of complicity or knowledge of the crime.
Do you know anything about this money that Taylor had given you all?
No, absolutely not. She's never given me anything.
Okay. Do you know anything about your finances?
No, to be honest. I give her when I work a case or and I got a settlement from my attorney, I hand it straight to Ash. She takes care of everything.
The topic of money emerges, revealing a potential motive. The $34,000 that Taylor entrusted to Ashley, which was misappropriated, casts a shadow of doubt. Zach's genuine surprise and his lack of involvement in their finances paint a picture of a man who trusted his wife implicitly, perhaps to a fault.
Do you ever loan it out to anybody?
No.
Okay.
No.
Would you ever loan it to anybody? Or
no.
Do you remember Ashley ever using it, taking it with her?
No. Never.
Okay, did it ever get lost or stolen or anything and get replaced?
No, not that I recall.
As the interrogation progresses, the detectives introduce more incriminating evidence. Phone records place Ashley at the crime scene, and her suspicious activities following Taylor's disappearance become harder to ignore. Zach's reactions are telling.
What do you think happened to Taylor?
I couldn't tell you, Jason. I mean, I don't know.
His body language remains open, his answers consistent. He leans forward, engaging with the detectives, signaling his willingness to cooperate.
I can't see her doing something like that. I mean, she's super intelligent. You know, she's got a
master's degree.
Yeah, or is it master's or I don't know, one of the two. And that's just sloppy. I mean, that's sloppy.
Zach's emotional turmoil is evident. He grapples with the duality of his wife's image, the educated, intelligent woman he married, and the potential cold-blooded murderer the evidence points to. His struggle is palpable. A man torn between loyalty and the undeniable facts before him. The detectives, having gathered all they need, allow Zach to leave. His innocence is clear, but the same cannot be said for Ashley. The court's verdict seals her fate, and Zach is left to grapple with the reality of his wife's actions. Sarah Boone. Sarah Boone, just 48 hours before being confronted by detectives, recorded a haunting video where she taunted her partner of 3 years, Jorge Torres Jr. In the footage, she dismisses his desperate cries for help as he suffocates inside a suitcase. The forensic evidence paints a grim picture. Jorge was trapped inside that suitcase for possibly up to 11 hours, and at some juncture was even pushed down the stairs while still confined.
We were informed of some injuries that he has by the doctor. So he had some injuries to his left shoulder. He had a cut near his lip. We could see his mouth was a little.
I haven't laid a hand on him.
On the left side of his forehead, he had basically bruising, and on his head and skull.
I have no idea.
As if something hit him.
I
consider
not touched him.
Sarah, believing she was merely assisting the Orange County Sheriff's Office with background information, soon found herself in the hot seat. As the interview unfolded, a tumultuous relationship marked by volatility came to light. The detectives, Chelsea Connolly and Scott Lowen, employ a strategic setup. Sarah's chair is positioned farthest from the door, a tactic designed to amplify feelings of entrapment. As they delve into the autopsy report, Sarah's defensiveness becomes palpable. Her raised hands and quick interjections are classic signs of someone trying to deflect guilt.
And I feel like I can help him. Like, I feel like I could help him, which I did, because he came a really long way from where he was in Philadelphia to moving back to here and to dealing with everything else that he's been dealing with. I've really helped him. I've bailed him out of jail, 3 times. I've gone to every single hearing and every single arraignment, everything that I did for him. Gone to see all his public defenders, go to the state. I've gone to the state. I did everything for him because I'm trying to help him, because I had hope in him.
Sarah's narrative of their relationship paints her as the savior, the one who held everything together. She positions herself as the omnipotent partner, the one who rescued Jorge from his own shortcomings. This dynamic is a hallmark of narcissistic relationships, where one partner believes they have the right to both reward and punish the other. The detectives, trained to pick up on these nuances, push further. They dive into the couple's tumultuous history, revealing a pattern of domestic violence and control.
I mean, it's unexplainable how he got these injuries, and
I have no idea.
you were the only one with him.
100% right hand to God. I have no idea how he got them. Nobody touched anybody.
Sarah's portrayal of herself as the emotionally mature partner is a classic narcissistic tactic. By emphasizing her role in Jorge's adherence to his probation requirements, she aligns herself with authority, reinforcing her perceived superiority. Her hyper-specific recollections, such as the exact duration of a phone call, further highlight her need to control the narrative. However, the detectives are not easily swayed. They challenge Sarah's version of events, presenting her with undeniable evidence of her intoxication on the night of Jorge's death. Her slurred speech in the video and her subsequent denials expose the cracks in her story.
But why is he saying I can't breathe, and why is he pushing on it as if he can't get out?
And it doesn't show a hole.
There's no hole. There's no fingers. I don't see his fingers. There's no hole.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't know, what you want me to tell you.
I'm just telling you what we see and what we've heard from the other video.
I understand.
He's begging for you to let him out. You're laughing in the beginning, and then in the end it sounds kind of like
no, it's not malicious.
Moving on, as the interrogation progresses, the mask begins to slip. Sarah's attempts to control the narrative falter. The video footage is damning, and her explanations become increasingly erratic.
When I was upstairs?
No, when he's asking on the video. He asked multiple times. He asked to be let out. I can't breathe. Why didn't you let him out?
Well, number one, I had no idea it was going to end like that.
Okay.
Number one.
Okay.
Number two, just, you know what? I'll give you 5 minutes or so in there. I'll give you 5 minutes or so.
Sarah's reactions, from raising her voice to stonewalling the detectives, are consistent with a covert narcissist experiencing a narcissistic collapse. When faced with undeniable evidence, she becomes increasingly defensive, trying to regain control of the narrative. One of the most chilling moments in the interrogation is Sarah's offhand comment about Jorge's ability to escape the suitcase. This revelation contradicts her earlier claims and exposes the true nature of her actions. Sarah's subsequent actions, from her concerns about being placed in a small holding cell to her letters to the court, further highlight her narcissistic tendencies. She portrays herself as competent and rational, emphasizing her intelligence and desire to be involved in her case. The detectives' strategy is clear: to break down Sarah's defenses, expose her lies, and reveal the truth. They employ a mix of direct confrontation and empathetic questioning, trying to catch Sarah off guard. And it works. Sarah's reactions, from her body language to her choice of words, reveal a person struggling to maintain control. The psychological analysis of this interrogation is a study in power dynamics. Sarah, with her narcissistic tendencies, seeks to dominate and control the narrative. The detectives, armed with evidence and training, aim to break through her defenses and uncover the truth. It's a dance of manipulation, control, and deception. In the chilling tale of love turned lethal, we're reminded that sometimes the most dangerous threats come from those closest to us. Trust was shattered, and a life was taken. If this harrowing journey captivated you, please hit that like button and subscribe. Join us as we continue to unravel the complexities of the human heart, where not all love stories find their fairy tale ending.